Your contract is one Sasha Petroshenko. He is the boss of Siberia's largest criminal syndicate, the Yakutsk clan. They trade in drugs and weapons. And, as is common now, they're human traffickers too. Petroshenko was born in Moscow. There he rose from petty street criminal to influential crime boss. It was with Petroshenko's help that Nergui Kurchatov became Moscow's mayor. When Petroshenko was forced to flee the capital, it was Kurchatov, then Siberia's new governor, who allowed him to set up business in the Yakutia region. After the War of Independence, Petroshenko was given protection by the new Siberian government. He is now attempting to gain control of Western Siberia. These territories are run by his rival, Agvan Dorzev. It won't be easy, as Dorzev is also backed by the army. In an attempt to avoid all-out war, these two bosses have agreed to a private meeting at Petroshenko's dacha in the Beketov Valley. Inside the property are hidden video recordings that you must obtain. Agvan must also be killed. Then go to his nearby camp and retrieve information about his business operations. It will be useful to our employer. Finally, Petroshenko is preparing to execute a prisoner, his former deputy, Vladimir Romanovich. Free this man, and you will be richly rewarded. Stay focused, Seeker.
Uncertainty. That doesn't make for a very happy locker room during what should be the happiest time of the year. 20 different times over the course of the week. There were some spots that were changed and discarded. There were also changes made to eliminations, order of entrance, and there were changes made to how some of the talent interacted at different points during the match. Even worse for the men's Royal Rumble match is that Kofi Kingston's Daredevil spot was badly mistimed, and he was eliminated earlier than he was supposed to, and that forced them to cancel spots that were planned for him and Randy. That's what they get. They want to ride the same fucking ride over and over and over again. At some point, it's going to malfunction. There were so many changes made to the women's Royal Rumble match, and that led to people being frustrated throughout the day because there were so many moving parts to keep up with. It was described as a confusing hodgepodge of things that some people needed to remember or get out of their brain if an idea was scrapped. That doesn't sound like it's a very pleasant evening at the office at all. It was noted that Vince McMahon was deeply involved in every aspect of the pay-per-view, and morale was very down. One talent said we were all in a whirlwind, just like everybody else. You had your role and your spots down. Everything started over and over and over, and now most of us were back to square one. It changed again and again and again. It wasn't an easy night, even before we hit the ring. Several names were even brought into the Royal Rumble and ended up not being used as well. What a shit show, man. What a complete shit show. And like I said, I'm going to go backtrack to the Triple H idea. The reason why he was there all those years is because not only did he have a vision for these matches, he's been in plenty of them himself. He knows the psychology. He knows what needs to be done. He knows what would work, right? That's somebody that's been ingrained in these Royal Rumble matches. One Royal Rumble matches himself. I don't get why he wouldn't be a part of this. It should be an all-hands-on-deck situation. Not only that, and I don't want to make this a love fest, but it also is Papa H. Didn't come out of thin air. He was always the type of guy that would go into the locker room and be that shoulder for people to vent their frustrations. I don't have that anymore. You think Bruce Bridges is doing that? You think Lord Ice is doing that? You think anybody on Vince McMahon's team is doing that? You think any producers are doing that? The producers have no power. They're told what to do. Lay out this match. Let me go over it. I don't like it. Change it. They have no power. Nobody has any power except Vince McMahon's servants. The morale in WWE's locker room Saturday night at the Royal Rumble was heavily affected by Triple H not being there. And that was reported also by EW Insider and Ringside News. Ringside News reported that there is a ton of Shane McMahon. EW Insider also backed this up and stated additionally that sources told them that Triple H not being there for the first time in years was also a factor as to why things fell apart. absolutely fucking sabotaged the Royal Rumble. If there's one thing that I've learned up until this point, it's that the McMahons need to fucking go. Every single fucking one. Stephanie can say, she may be the most normal of them all. Shane, Vince, need to go. They need to go. The Royal Rumble was sabotaged. Shane had absolute power over everything in the Royal Rumble match. Vince gave Shane the keys to the kingdom and it fucking backfired. Is Vince McMahon going to blame his son? Probably. He's blamed him for things in the past before, many times before. But it all falls on Vince McMahon because he did not allow Triple H to be there. So what does this tell you? The McMahons are fucking clueless that Triple H, even in his absence, even after being stripped of every ounce of power, has been right. Triple H has been right even after NXT's dead. Triple H has been right. It's amazing. In fact, it's sad and beautiful at the same fucking time. It's sad because we don't have this issue. And it's beautiful because these fucking people think they knew what they were doing. They thought they knew what they were doing. They thought, oh, let's get them out. Things will be our way, the right way. And actually, it's the opposite. It's a beautiful thing and a sad thing at the same time. It was absolutely felt, says sources. Tyson Kidd, TJ Wilson, Natalya Neidhart's husband, he's married to Natalya. He usually takes a big role in producing the women's matches and helping them during rehearsals. He was not involved in the process this year, and he hasn't been around in these recent weeks, but is still officially with the company. Dave Fit Finley was brought in from NXT to help produce the Women's Rumble since he had been a big help with the division in the past. PW Insider said that not having Levesque Wilson in their role was a big factor in how the match was presented on Saturday. Who made that decision? Is TJ Wilson going through a health issue that he can't be there? Why is he not there? That's what I'd like to know. Fit Finley, he's been a part of the women's division before. I think he's done a very good job from what I've read in the past. He's done very well to handle the women's division in a way that it should be handled. One of the better minds there to really guide them to where they need to be. So it's not really coming down on him. But, you know, obviously, if Fit Finley was there, he could absolutely use some people around him to really like the reports said about Triple H accentuate talent, make changes, give you those little moments to boost the overall presentation of the match. Maybe that's what Fit Finley was missing with TJ Wilson being out and not being there at the Royal Rumble. I don't know. And I said this on Saturday night when I did the post show. I honestly, and both matches were terrible. Both matches were very, very just poorly booked. But if I had to choose one over the other, I'd actually take the women's match over the men's match. I don't know if that's saying much, but the women's Royal Rumble match was, to me, a smidgen more entertaining than the men's was. The men's one was putting me to sleep. There was nothing exciting about it. There was nothing exciting about it. Do you want to know why the Royal Rumble sucked this year? For a couple of reasons. Do you want to know why? One of the biggest factors in the Royal Rumble fucking being disgusting this year is the fact that it's all catching up to it. I love it over a minute. It's all catching up to it. WWE, two reasons, two major fucking reasons why the Royal Rumble was god-awful this year. Both men and women. They don't have a roster of legitimate superstars. Roman Reigns, maybe Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I don't even put McIntyre in that situation. Edge, Randy Orton, a handful of guys. That's it. Nobody else feels special. The fact of the matter is WWE has fucking failed to create and build big stars. They are so content with Roman Reigns and Lesnar being here, with Edge wrestling 25 dates a year, or being there 25 dates a year, wrestling maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Randy Orton being there on a very slim schedule. online. That's a degree better. More than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate.
Global champions and Jungle Express, they are now positioning these national tag teams that they have to now get into competition for the tag titles.
It's going to be great, man. Santana Ortiz versus the Jurassic Express, the Kings of the Black Throne, the House of Black, Red Dragon, the Young Bucks, FTR again. I mean, you name it. All the matches that Santana Ortiz can have with this tag team division, man. I mean, and the Briscoes are coming. I mean, every single fucking one of them, man. Where's my wallet? Take it. It's going to be fucking awesome. We got Adam Cole, baby. Took the microphone from Marvez. He told Marvez to get out. He said that he's already defeated Orange Cassidy in singles matches, mixed tag team matches. What else do I have to do? He said because he put his hands on his girlfriend tonight, I propose this. No DQ, no rules, anything goes. Lights out match next week. Beach break, Cleveland, Ohio. He says he started looking at him, so it's damn time he ends his pathetic. Jesse, do we see Johnny Gargano next week? Aid his buddies and the best friend they used to work together on the Indies, him and Trent, him and Chuck Taylor. Do we see Johnny Gargano in Cleveland debut next week?
I believe we do. I believe it's time for a debut from all of this talent that I know TK has in his back pocket. He's now doing what everyone said he should have did earlier with the Adam Cole and Brian Daniels. He's spreading them out. I'm sure he has Gargano. I'm sure he has Wyatt in his pockets. He just has to understand. We got He's just getting. This might sound weird, guys. He's getting story together for them before he debuts them.
Wow, what a concept!
It's weird. It's weird, bro. It's weird.
You mean to tell me they just don't make it to television and get thrown in nothing matches and then disappear every 6 weeks?
No. That's the old way of doing things. As smart as that was, that makes something different. Like having a plan, getting it over, and getting the talent over, and the fans being happy.
Wow, man, that's something new to me. I don't think I've seen it.
Yes, it's weird, bro. It's weird. But I think it's time to start sprinkling in some of these debuts I know are out there. He's holding on to him somewhere. I mean, so it's all about to get cool. I think the women's gonna come in. I think the women are gonna come in, and maybe even some of the lower on the card men that he probably has in his back pocket as well gonna come in on the women's class.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I can see him coming in, or Lita coming in for the women's own belt. But Johnny Gargano, man, you're gonna get instant excitement out of me. I love Johnny. He's gonna be Johnny All Elite Wrestler. That's gonna be fucking great. You mean to tell me that Johnny Gargano's coming before Veer?
Well, Veer, man, that guy's been coming all over.
I don't know, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Somebody get a clean up on mile 7, man. Veer's coming all over the place. Where's he go?
I don't know, man. You think we should?
I don't know. Anyway, we got Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy next week. Lights out match. Should it be great? We may see the impending debut of Johnny Gargano in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. We got CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. This match went timed 7 seconds. So MJF came out, made his entrance after Punk and Spears made their own entrances, and he said at commentary, 7 seconds. Jesse, all this was a GTS, and that is it. MJF stood up in embarrassment. Punk then eyed MJF from the ring. Punk was celebrating, and MJF tried to sneak up on him and attack him in the ring. Punk turned around. He grabbed MJF by his scarf. MJF then gave up the scarf, slipped away like the slimy snake that he is, and ran away. And that was pretty much all we got from Punk and MJF. I can't wait for the E-Shields to bury this and say, well, JD buried Aaliyah beating Natalya in 3 seconds. Why didn't he do the same to Spears and CM Punk, man? Because this was booked perfectly, and it creates a bigger story moving forward. The best storyline right now in AEW, I'm sorry. But don't you fucking understand?
No, it's not about the 3, 4, 5 second matches. It's about who's involved in it. And Aaliyah, I just hearing what you're saying. Aaliyah went over Natalya, in 3 seconds. Aaliyah is the new becoming talent, and Natalya, her job is to literally don't get the other talent. So, if she's gonna put her over in 3 seconds, then great. That's a match that Aaliyah's built. So we got Sean Spears versus Punk. Sean Spears is not an open competitor. He is not someone they're trying to push right now. And I mean, open potential for him to put Punk over. I mean, Punk looks strong because Punk is losing to MJS. So, and the thing with Warlord, I heard somebody was complaining that Warlord and Frankie went too long.
Lance Archer and Frank.
I thought you say Lance Archer and Frankie was like, but I don't agree. I mean, I think the thing about Archer, he's been coming out and just killing everybody and not really displaying too much of a wrestling bench. Frankie Kazarian can just somebody you can't just roll over and beat, but he can still take it down and he can make you look good in about a 5-6 minute match. I think it was a fantastic scenario. That's just me.
I thought that, man. We'll talk about that when we get that. I thought Lance Archer should have fucking at least shaved 3 minutes with that match.
That's what he's always been. You keep doing that shit, and people gonna be like, "This guy even."
Yeah.
Can you put him in the ring with somebody who can fucking wrestle? Please?
Well, listen, Sean Spears is not buried. I see the chat say Sean Spears, so you can't bury somebody who's already a fucking job. I mean, that's his role. He's a fucking lackey, right, JR? What do you want?
I mean, that's like complaining that Brandon Cutler gets job. I mean, come on, that's he's the lackey of the.
That's all it is. It creates a bigger story moving forward. And JR thought he was gonna get one over on Punk. He threw his boys at him. Now he's got nobody else to throw. Punk mentioned this. How many more people do you got to throw at me before I actually get my hands on you? You got nobody now. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. Billy Gunn. I don't believe we're talking about Billy Gunn again on fucking Dynamite. Billy Gunn was grabbing a cameraman as he saw Christian Cage walking into the arena. Gunn says his boys are ranked in the top 5. It's time for his boys to get a shot at the Lucha or at the Jurassic Express. The Jurassic Express. Christian said when the lights were the brightest, he could never get statement wins, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Make a statement and then we'll talk. Billy's sons then jumped Christian from behind and beat the shit out of him right there on the loading dock, threw him into the garage door several times. Austin Gunn kneeled down next to Christian Cage and said, statement made. Looks like we're getting the Gun Club against Jurassic Express at some point, but Christian A spoke the truth here. B, he did come off kind of startled with Billy Gunn, so he kind of set himself up for this attack. And C, I have no interest in seeing Billy or his sons on television.
Well, they're undefeated.
Yeah, I'm done. Who have they beaten? Anybody?
Everybody they faced.
So a bunch of nobody.
I think they were defeated in 2021 too.
Listen, if it gets to Rampage, all right, let's get it on Rampage, move it on, and then move Jurassic Express on to Santana Ortiz.
Statistically, he's got to deserve an title shot. They have not lost anything.
Listen, I hope it's a good match.
Yeah, I hope it's a good. Look, I'm not gonna shit on the ass boys because when it's just them two and Billy on the side doing Billy antics, it's a little entertaining. Now they are high on the comedy end and stuff, but when they wrestle, they're fine, bro. They can wrestle. They're good. They're not extravagant. They're not like groundbreaking. They're not like hook, but they're good and they're progressing. You know, the ass boys will be fine. You know,
and maybe we'll see Uncle Road Dogg come out and help them with the tag teams.
There you go. Maybe, man. But they've been winning too much and looking decent on Dark. Just put them in the ring and take their L on the titles and move on with it.
Jesse, I got a question. Are you an ass man?
Oh man, I'm an ass man.
Alright, thank you. Thank everybody in the chat tonight.
I'm an ass man.
There you go. Cody Rhodes. We got Cody Rhodes. This was the best thing, in my honest opinion. Cody Rhodes in the middle of the ring. Fans are raining down boos on Cody Rhodes. Cody seemed very Cody-esque. He was looking around. He didn't really understand why people were doing it. And what do you guys want me to talk about? Well, talk about CM Punk's Pipe-Bomb promo. He said someone told him to save this promo. He's not sure if he'll get the chance, so he's going to do it now. He said in that interview, Punk laid out a roadmap. And he laid out this roadmap. He listed things that, for him and people like him, were taboo at the time. Like going to New Japan and Ring of Honor and teaming with the Young Bucks. He said, as fate would have it, was unable to do those things. So fans were telling Cody to shut the fuck up. There was a chant of Royal Rumble from Washington, D.C. tonight. We got Cody just listening to these chants, paused. And then he said Punk would wind up in AEW in what Pro Wrestling Illustrated calls comeback of the year. He said it's comeback of the decade. We are all living in it and we are all loving it. Some fans were chanting Cody sucks then. Cody said someone ended up doing each and every one of those things. I did them. He then yelled. They started getting boisterous. And he said he carried through that revolution and everyone cheered. Then he says, I am not going to turn heel and won't turn heel because the fans cheered me when I needed it the most. He said when he talks about there being more than one royal family in wrestling, and this is news to me because I thought he was talking about the Rhodes family. He said when the intro hits and talked about being more than one royal family in wrestling, he means me and all of us, meaning Vince. Yes, bullshit. He's just a little delusional in-betweener here. He said people talk about the Forbidden Door and it's become vernacular. An industry journalist who covers what we do, and you disagree with anything I say tonight, you're not a journalist. He said before there was a Forbidden Door, I was the one who built it. Fans then began cheering Cody and chanting Cody. Says he was gone for 2 weeks, and he saw the Young Bucks almost start the Wednesday Night War all over again. Says he knows Red Dragon graduated hip toss class with flying colors, but I don't need to see the Young Bucks be developmental one more time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He said his real-life friend Ricky Starks got into a tiff with Jay Lethal. He said the lethal injection is the one move in this business that people don't get out of. So avoid. Cody, listen, bro, I'm gonna get this to that, but the end of days. Nobody's kicked out at the end of days. Aaron Corbin has a clean record with the end of days. Nobody's kicked out. I don't know. Yes, of course he didn't this. This man Kevin Austin, happy Corbin. Nobody's happy when he's on TV Plus. He mentioned the lethal injection being very dangerous. Nobody's gonna kick out. And then he brought up Malachi Black. He said everyone knows he hates to lose. Malachi's giving me the losses. He said they're not in the business of renaming people like Gunther McGillibuddy or whatever the hell it is. But it's not just speed and strength that calls, it's also balls. You come to AEW and you call yourself Brody, you've got balls. He said he'll find out in 8 years what a mistake that was, meaning Brody Lee Jr. will be ready to go by that time. He then talked about Darby, Miro, and Sammy Guevara, the current interim TNT champion. It's a lineage and legacy of champions, and everyone has been conditioned to believe that any title that doesn't have world in it is a secondary belt. He says they don't have secondary titles in AEW, and the only reason people say it's secondary is because they have two. He said Tony Khan has sent a contract in the mail. Not the contract I wanted, but he said to Sammy, with this contract, I want to face Sammy Guevara next week in a match where both title belts are hung above the ring. So Sammy, what do you say? He climbed the ladder and he held the TNT title above his belt, and that's the way the promo went off. A lot of insider fan verbiage here, Jesse. He mentioned the disastrous Walter name change. He poked fun at NXT again, and rightfully so. He made fun of the indie darlings there, graduating from Hip Toss Academy, and he did everything he could to break that fourth wall. Not as CM Punk did, nowhere near it, but I appreciate Cody's efforts. Like we said in the beginning, Cody Rhodes, in this moment, when he's like this and on, he's very difficult to top. He's incredible at what he does. He's a master storyteller. The most intriguing guy on all of pro wrestling television right now is Cody Rhodes. I am going with him to win. If he loses next week, I'm going to be pissed off at him. I think he'll make those sense. I want Cody to continue doing what he's doing. I want him to continue this character development wherever it goes. I'm invested. I know he doesn't take us to be complete idiots. He knows what he's doing. He's just hanging on the fans' emotions here, and he's eating all of it. That's all we can ask. I think he's not going to turn this thing. There's one thing I know about Cody Rhodes, and I don't know the person. It's not going to take Cody Rhodes 6 years to fucking turn you, like Roman Reigns. So this was awesome, and I can't wait for that next week. We're going to get a classic champion versus champion ladder match at Beach Break. It'll be awesome.
And before I forget this, I meant to on this earlier, but Meltzer's reported that Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson did not have it because of medical protocols. Now, out of the 6 men involved in that bench, it is not said of which one or more than one is the reason of the medical protocol.
If I had to guess, I know one of them. I know Dax tweeted out in the middle of a snowstorm that hit the East Coast this past week. He was probably home and doing what he had to do. I don't think, if I'm to guess, I don't think it's any of the members of FTR. Maybe it's one of the other guys. Maybe it's Lee Johnson. Maybe it's Brock. I don't know.
Could be Tully.
Could be Tully, yeah.
Tully and RN2 goes.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, I was actually looking forward to that match tonight. Eventually we'll get it, but medical protocol has come up, and it's going to be about a week. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be rescheduled. It's connected. So people in the chat asking this reason.
All right, there you go. Sal in the chat says Cody's promo was terrible. Get the fuck out of it. The fuck out of it. It wasn't terrible. What the fuck are you watching? You watch a fucking Omos promo? What the fuck are you watching over there? Jesus fucking Christ.
Look, you don't have to like everything we like. I mean, get that part. But to say, it wasn't for you, or I'm still not sold on this. I can see that. But to say it was terrible, I mean, you don't know what you're talking about.
House of Black. Actually, before that, we're skipping ahead. Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Anna Jay was there as well. We got a TBS Championship match happening on Rampage. It's Anna Jay versus Jade Cargill. And Anna Jay really was caught up by Mark Sterling, and then Jade Cargill said she needs to understand who she is, meaning Anna Jay needs to understand who she is. And this is going to be that bitch show. So I don't know how good Anna Jay has been on Dark. Jesse, maybe you could elaborate a little bit. We haven't seen that.
No.
She hasn't been.
No. She is not getting work. She is just as good as she has been. She has not really improved. She needs more improvement. I mean, it's. Let me put it like.
So what you're telling me is that we're looking at a disaster.
It's not going to be good. No, it is not. And we all know Jay's going to win because if she does it, versus him.
Well, I mean, she just won the title, so I don't see her losing to Anna Jay.
Oh man. No, I'll get aside, dude. This is going to be a train wreck. I'm only saying that because neither one of these women are great generals. Neither one of them. So someone's going to carry us through the match. I don't see either one being experienced enough to bring us to the match. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be rough on Friday night, folks. Live. Rampage is live on Friday. We got the Kings of the Black Road. Sounds like a fucking black metal album title. For all my metal fans out there, Malachi Black and Brody King defeated the Varsity Blondes, Rick Garrison, and Ryan Thomas.
What was wrong with this house?
That's their tag team name in PWG. They're the tag team champion.
Oh, okay.
So this was Brody King's first match in AEW. He looked very good. He surprised Pillman with a forearm. Pillman hesitated on a springboard after that, and he failed one against Black. Last week, he took out the Blondes, did King, at ringside. He and Black isolated Pillman in the ring. King then hit Dante's Inferno on Brian Pillman Jr., and that was it. About 2 minutes for the win. Dante's Inferno, their finishing move, is Black taking their opponent, I guess, and tossing him to Brody Lee. Then Brody Lee, in one fell swoop, power slams them down to the mat. And that is what they call their finishing move, Dante's Inferno. I love it. They came out with a new theme as well. They're not coming out to Aleister Black's theme, which is great. And they're coming out to their own theme music, which separates Black solo versus Brody and Black in the tag team known as the Kings of the Black Throne. Now, the one thing I hope Tony Khan is really thinking about here, Jesse, I don't want Malachi Black to be confined to a tag team only. Black is good enough on his own where he should continue to do solos. He's good enough to be a world champion on any given night, whether it's a world championship or the TNT championship. I don't want them to go the WWE Bruce Pritchard and putting AJ Styles, a master of his craft, in a fucking tag team with Omos and leave him there and not have him wrestle sick.
Yeah, I can see that. At the same time, if you're gonna give Malachi singles matches, you can do it for Brody King.
Oh, absolutely.
Otherwise, what's up?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because if not, I mean, Brody's gonna like his henchman, his muscle, and if Black is gonna stand alone, then Brody needs to as well.
Totally with you there. Hopefully, Tony Khan is way ahead of
Dorjev
that.
has left his camp.
Do not confine these guys to
90 seconds
tag team only. So after the match was over, we got another vignette that played on the big screen, and up here on the screen was Pac. Pac is on the big screen, his eyes covered by a bandage. He held up a playing card that said, "Justice" again. He said this is the moment he expected him to bow down and call him master. He's going to make Black a martyr. He then revealed his eyes, and then Pac, Excalibur said, is sending a message to Malachi and the House of Black. You know what, Jesse? I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't know how this is going to be perceived. Maybe Tony Khan is ahead of us and already thinking it, but I'm going to throw it out there. Malachi Black versus Pac at Revolution in a blindfold match.
No.
You don't want to go back in the time machine and do an old school blindfold.
No.
Maybe you have a Ouija board match or a tarot card match.
That sounds like some Bruce Pritchard shit.
I'm only kidding, but the blindfold match I'm not kidding about, man. I think that could be pretty cool.
The blindfold match is the Bruce Pritchard shit.
No, it's not!
Nobody wants to see two guys blindfolded trying to find each other and then get them.
What are you talking about? Jake Roberts and the model Rick Martel did it.
In the 80s?
Yes.
Okay, you want to give someone a snake to bring out too?
Why not?
Because it's old. That's why.
Blindfold matches, yes, blindfold matches. So I was just throwing it out there as a potential like
Terrible idea. We just put him on a scaffold too. Make it a Skywalker match or some shit.
Yeah, well, but no, it's a blindfold and a pole.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, Pac is back. Hopefully he's on TV a little bit more regularly. It seems like he's on 1 week and then he's away for 3 months and then he's back and then he's away for 2 months. Hopefully, Pac is more consistent with that.
Let's make Julia Hart the referee because she only has one eye and she can hit those guys.
Dorjev has arrived.
Julia didn't really have a role. She was just out there very quiet, very to herself.
Yes, and watching on Dark and everything else, and watching little peeps can attest to this. They are getting ready to do something. Julia Hart with House of Bliss.
Looking forward to that. Video package aired on Lance Archer. Jake Roberts cut a promo, and he says he thinks Hangman Page is probably allergic to horses like Clint Eastwood. Page asked if Cowboy Bob went home from the road and herded cattle. Jake said Archer won't wait in line anymore. Page said he'll bring him the fight. Jake said when it's time, he will bite the dust. What the hell did that mean, Jesse? Jake Roberts is going to bite the dust.
See that he is buried in it.
Maybe we see Lance Archer and Dan Lambert 100% with Archer joining top team.
It's gotta be that. It's gotta be that. I want to see it at this point. I want to see it. It really did look like, Jake was
The honor is mine.
Jake was out there
A meeting with the great
passing the
people
torch,
who lead
hey, I'm
the
still
Red
down with these guys, and now I'm part of it. Didn't go out there because he came out and didn't go ringside. He told Lambert what he does. Hey, this is what I normally do. You said Lambert this, and then Lambert, okay, got you. All right, cool, thanks, Jake. Almost seemed like that's it. Jake is gonna take care of other things. Maybe he popped up on special occasions. I mean, it doesn't appear that Jake is willing or able to hit the road as much. Maybe I do not know this. I'm just speculating at this point. But I'm glad to see him in the hands of Dan Lambert, and he's a good character.
Joey Clemenza in the chat said Julia Hart wore a black heart necklace on Instagram. She's totally heel flipping. I can see that happening in Revolution.
Yeah, they definitely planted
You
all
will
kinds of
cease
seeds.
your activity in these territories and make them
Just little
mine.
seeds, but something's coming.
So after this promo by Lance Archer and Jake Roberts with Dan
I
Lambert,
have
we got a
information
promo
you
by Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. They plan to crash the Young Bucks promo that Brandon was outstanding support, which that they do every week. So they were nice to Brandon, who challenged the Bucks to a match on Rampage. Said they beat the Bucks in New Japan, and they will beat them here again in AEW. So best friends, Punky Vice,
They are the ones that will
Chaos
get the bounty on
versus
your
the
head.
Bucks. I don't know if Cole and Cassidy, but it's continuing here on Rampage. Beretta and Rocky Romero against the Bucks. So it should be a decent little match there.
It is
For
because you
all four of those guys. Lance Archer and Frankie Kazarian. This was the next match of the night. Wasn't out bad. Archer looks great. Kazarian always looked great to call upon to make somebody look good. This match, it went on for about 10 minutes or so. But like Jesse said, Jesse and I have different opinions on this. I don't think it really should have went 10 minutes, considering Kazarian hasn't been on TV in quite some time. Neither is Archer because he's coming back from injury. But you want to really establish Archer, I get you want to show that wrestling be ready for Page, but 10 minutes could have easily been 7 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. But Archer attacked before the bell here and beat up Kazarian. Not really much to really say here. Archer just beat down on Kazarian for most of this match. Kazarian made a comeback. He countered Blackout, made them miss a drop kick. Archer came back with a choke slam and a black hole slam. And then Archer hit the Blackout for the win. After the match, Tony Schiavone is in the ring. He's getting ready to interview. And Lambert is in there as well. He asked about his new alliance with Lance Archer. And Lambert yanked the mic away as per usual with Tony Schiavone. So Schiavone doesn't need to know anything about this partnership. He went on to insult Hangman. And Archer said, listen, I'm taking the microphone now. I've heard enough about this and this nonsense, this bullshit. He went into Kaz. He was setting up a choke slam on a steel chair on the stage. And out comes the AEW World Champion, Adam Hangman Page. Fans were chanting cowboy shit. They were standing face to face, nose to nose. Archer is much larger than Adam Page, dwarfing over him. Hangman slapped Archer. Fans went crazy. They rolled. Archer picked up a chair. Hangman hit him with a cowboy boot. He took his boot off and hit him with his cowboy boot. He went for the buckshot, but Archer blocked and Hangman did a clothesline over the top rope regardless and knocked Archer to the floor. And that was pretty much it. I like the little back and forth here between Archer and Page. Like I said last week, I hope they have a decent enough story to get me invested. It's not going to be the major World Championship main event of Revolution. I hope that it's interesting enough to really just get Page through Revolution on into Double or Nothing, where I believe he should go wrestle MJF, and we get a